We are live in this mofo.
Just hit talk with Jeff. Wait a minute.
Oh my God.
We good. We good.
No, it's cool.
I just got
Look,
his
people,
stream
look.
yard. I just got. Oh, we good now. We straight. We straight.
Look,
we straight.
look. Jeff Kavanaugh, 105.3 The Fan.
We straight.
Voch Lombardi.
Right
from
brick
everywhere.
On my brick, right brick on my brick.
Right brick on my brick. Everybody, my people are used to this. When I stream, things break.
Yes.
I use my laptop and I forget to plug it in and it's super old.
Yeah.
So my streams will just end because my laptop dies. It says it's got like 54% and then it's just out of there.
Yes.
And that's the kind of stuff we're used to. But hi, everybody. Jeff here, Voch there. So if you are watching on my YouTube channel, I appreciate you, Jeff Kavanaugh. And if you do not already subscribe to Voch Lombardi, why don't you swing on over there and do it because he's my guy. And together we are ScoutKast. Not that either one of us is Andre or Big Boy, but if we were, I would be Andre.
Now, see, that's our problem, Jeff, because we act like children playing I'm that Power Ranger because it shouldn't be that way. We should come to a consensus as adults because I'm Andre, and we should just like leave it at that. We should just leave it the way it is. I'm the thinker.
Big Boy does have some great verses.
Big
Maybe I will
incredible.
be Big Boy.
Big Boy is incredible, but you know, Andre is Andre. I got a story to tell, Jeff, if you don't mind before we get started.
I dare you to tell a story.
So peep this out, fam. You was on the last live stream and you had this bomb looking ass piece on your live stream, and I've been keto Voch for a good little bit. So I'm like, man, I'm not finna get none of this damn piece and mess up my keto. I'm going to go find out what this is. I changed my mind in the middle of it. So I texted Jeff. I said, Jeff, is this the name of the goofy little, you know what I mean? And Jeff told me that that's what it was, and it was a $25 pizza. I'm like, Jeff, I'm not paying no $25 for no goofy little ass pizza, Jeff.
And then you did, I would guess.
So I woke up in the morning, did my Googles, and I drove all the way 30 minutes to some rich-ass, snobby-ass, snooty-ass, bougie-ass part of town bumping UGK in my truck just to get this $25 pizza. And Jeff,
it's pretty good, huh?
Jeff, that's something, Jeff. Oh, Jeff, that's something. Jeff, let me tell you something, man.
It's pretty good.
It's in the sauce or something, man. Like, what's with the sauce, B?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know.
It's like,
I don't know.
It's like with the regular little joints, because I grew up the block, dog. Like, I'll just get Pizza Hut Domino's and be straight. But they sauce must be made out of concentrate and water. But this shit that Jeff had me eating, they must got some Roma tomatoes growing in the back.
Yep.
With the secret sauce that Salt Fella be putting on it or what. I was impressed, brother Jeff. I was impressed. Your peer pressure led me to spend $25 on pizza. I broke keto, but I was satisfied, sir. So shouts out to you, sir.
Yep, that was Grimaldi's. If you live in DFW, Grimaldi's is amazing. Second best pizza in DFW, right behind Louis. But it's amazing. You're welcome. Louis is a little place. North of downtown. Where the sign outside, all it is a sign with a martini glass on it that says Louis. So looking at that, you wouldn't know. You'd be like, I don't even know what this is. But you get inside, and it's a bar, and they make good martinis, but they make the best pizza ever.
I can't afford to eat that in, Jeff. See, Jeff got money, privilege.
No, Jeff. The pizza's like $13.
That's too expensive for me, man. I'm a personal pan eater, man. You know what I'm saying?
I know how many followers you have on YouTube, sir. Oh, hi, Brendan. My nephew Brendan will say hi and spam my chats till I say hi back. Hi, Brendan. It's nice to see you.
Brendan. Also, too, man, on your side of the stream, I come out real crappy. It's okay, because if they on your side, they here to see you. But my camera ain't terrible. Like, if y'all come on my side, my shit's straight. You know, we just got to work out the technical difficulties when we get to a certain place. But y'all relax. You chill out. We good to go. We do have draft content for y'all today. While we up here talking about our personal life and pizza and shit, you know what I'm saying? We do have some content. So, Jeff, the championship game happened.
It did.
Last Monday, 2 days ago, a couple days ago, whatever. What did you see, my guy? We'll just keep it bland and open like that. What did you see?
Okay. Well, what I saw was a guy named Mark William, who I appreciate, say, let's go illuminate. Tried to hold your stream earlier, but I'm glad to see we back. ScoutKast, let's go. Mark, you're a beast. We appreciate you, brother.
Shouts.
You're the best.
Salute.
I don't have any sound effects. I am gonna gear up sound effects.
I got one for him. I got a sound effect for him if I can.
Yeah, just hit a thing. Hit a thing for Mark.
Just hit a thing for Mark. Damn, I got to go to that. Then I got to go to the sound drops.
Hey, Mark.
Perfect.
There we go. Just we gonna give him a little perfect. Just a little.
There we go.
There we go.
Perfect.
There we go. Cool.
I saw that Alabama was really good.
Mhm.
I saw that there's a reason that Alabama's going to have, let's see what, Mac Jones, maybe Najee Harris, 2 wide receivers, maybe an offensive lineman, a corner, a D tackle, that they're going to have 5 to 7 first-round picks.
Yep.
So that's what I saw. Now, if you want to talk about who made the most money, I think it was probably Christian Barmore.
Yeah. So let's get into this then, right? Let me ask you this question, Jeff. At what point do you go back to clean up your previous film watches? Because I had watched Barmore and I had a certain opinion on it. We came here and we talked about it, right? But then a guy goes out and do that and he makes a little bit more money in the eyes of the nation. How often do you go back to recheck what you do?
A lot. Like once I get a whole bunch of dudes in and I'm thinking like, all right, my corners, looky here. I got them in this order. These guys are bunched together. What I'll end up doing is I'll go back and I'll watch them back to back to see if I feel good about the order I have them in. Yeah. But like with Barmore, I think he'll be my top D tackle because, redshirt sophomore, doesn't play a ton of snaps, but he got better as the season went on, and you're seeing the potential. That's what you're seeing, and you saw it against Notre Dame, and you saw it against Ohio State, 2 of the best teams that he's going to play. Because that's another thing I look for when I'm watching guys is just show me the games against the best competition.
Yeah.
And against the best competition, Christian Barmore was dominating. So I think in a normal year, like he's not Jonathan Allen. Like Jonathan Allen was a stud.
Right.
But in a year with no great D tackle prospect, I bet he's going in the first round now.
I sure hate to cut you off, man, but AJ Beard dropped a deuce in the super chat. I'm sorry, Mel Kiper. Ooh, ScoutKast for real. Ow. Dom dropped 5 in there. He says, "What's up, Voch and Jeff? Haven't seen y'all talk about Jeremiah. Okay, we're gonna talk about him today. Hang tight. But appreciate you. Mark Williams came and dropped a dub on my super chat. I guess yours was an accident, so you really meant to drop it on mine. Appreciate you, sir. And then Andrew Quemado dropped a 5 and says, "You're Miami at 3. Then there's Sewell and Devontae Smith is on the board. Who do you pick?" We're going to talk about that in a second. But appreciate y'all for dropping all this love. So, Jeff, here's my thing about Barmore, right? Here's my thing. So, when I watched Barmore, I don't think... See, in my mind, he's not that much different than what I've been seeing, right? Because even if you watch the Auburn film, right, what do you see? You don't see him for a half. And then he gets to the third quarter, and he starts ripping shit up in the third quarter, right? And I think that's because he's passing down guy, right? So if you look at the first couple of drives in Alabama, film or whatever, he's not starting. He's not always the first guy out there because he's not a run defense guy. But he's a flashing every now and then. Then you see my power, you see my violence, you see my quickness, my hands. You see that in passing downs. So how much more money can a pass rushing air quote one tech make? You know what I'm saying? How much money can a pass rushing air quote one tech make? How early do you take that dude in the first round? Mark Williams dropped another dub in my super chat, by the way. Appreciate you, sir. Go ahead, Jeff.
What if because I think like for the Cowboys, I guess he's playing. Yeah, he's playing the one. Like because he's an in-between guy. Mm-hmm. He's not a 285, 290 pound pass rushing 3 technique. He's bigger and more powerful than that. But he's also not a real 320 pound, absolutely can't be moved guy. He's something in between. But the snap count thing is just going to be weird. Yeah. And Alabama can be weird because they probably got those other guys in front of them are probably juniors and seniors. And because he's not Jonathan Allen or anything, it's not like they're just going to throw those guys off field. Yeah. But I don't know. But I don't think there's another defensive tackle in this class that's so impressive that I think they'll go in front of him. And then I look at, okay, when's the last time we had an NFL draft where no defensive tackle went in the first round? And I don't know the answer to that. Sure. And so I'm like, okay, Christian Barmore, pencil him in the 20s.
Would you take him in the 20s?
For this team, I think I would.
Because if it's your team, you ain't really got a problem pass rushing. Your problem is people getting 4 rushing touchdowns against you or having 200-yard rushing days against you. So does Christian Barmore, does he help you with that?
He just helps me because he's a good defensive tackle. I think I would feel better if my 4 defensive tackles were Barmore, Antoine Woods, Neville Gallimore, and Tristan Hill than I would the alternative, whatever the other guy is. it's not a desperation pick. Like, it's not something that I gotta have. Yeah. But if the Cowboys did a thing where they ended up with a pick at the end of the first round, and that meant that they had like 2 or 3 extra picks in the next 60 picks.
Sure.
And you told me you were going to end up with like Barmore and a corner and a safety and a linebacker, I'd say, okay, yeah, I can do that.
I just don't like deep breaths right before we say something about a guy. Like Voch, would you take? I go, yeah, you know, I just don't like that whole deep breath thing. And I think the Barmore conversation is a conversation worth happening. I just want to warn everybody, whether you're watching my show, whether you're watching over on Jeff's side, the national media is going to hype the shit out of Christian Barmore. And they're going to have you thinking that he's somebody that he's not. He's not that dude, but he's a really interesting pass rushing one tech, and you should keep that in your mind.
He's probably, I'll say this, he's probably somewhere between like the 50 and 60th best player in the draft, but he's probably one of the 20 to 30 best prospects in the draft. And that just goes back to the ceiling floor thing.
Yeah.
Because what you're seeing from him is hints of a dude that's really, really good.
So let's just say this. Would you take Barmore over Ojulari?
No.
Would you take Barmore over Jalen Phillips?
That's a good one. I would let need dictate that because I think I'll have them close. I'll have them both graded as like top of the second round guys.
I take Phillips. Last one, Barmore or JC Horn?
Horn.
I'm taking Horn too. Okay, cool. Just I think that'll be a fun little thing to do for us moving forward because people gonna ask where we rank these guys, where do we take these guys. Just think about 3 names that's close in their range. Think about where you would take them in contrast with each other. I think that's interesting. Devontae Smith, I ain't got 3 names I can give you for that dude.
Sure you do. It's Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Jamar Chase.
I don't hate it though, Jeff. I don't hate it. Daryl Worley, Sean Wade came out and called him out this week, and that was bad for him. And look at what he did in one half. Look at how he was terrorized in one half. Devontae Smith is incredible. He might be my wide receiver 1. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. We got time to figure this out. Is 3rd overall too early to take a dude like Devontae Smith?
No. There's going to be people who think yes. There's going to be a lot of teams that think that's too early.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a lot of teams that think 170-pound wide receiver doesn't work. And like my thing with Devontae Smith is you're going to hear a lot of people are going to say that he has to fill out or has to gain weight or whatever. And I think that's all garbage. Yeah. Because what is the purpose of the extra weight? Like if you need strength, if you need to be able to get off the line, but Devontae Smith you name a corner and he ain't going to play press coverage on Devontae Smith because he won't be able to keep him at the line. Like he doesn't need weight. We have this outdated idea of how big guys are supposed to be. Devontae Smith could absolutely go in the top 5 and I got no problem with it. I think he's the best receiver in the class. Yeah. And I think there are 2 guys that can battle him for that. Jamar Chase and Jalen Waddle. I think they could all be studs, sure. But Devontae Smith's got nothing left to prove. I don't care how much you weigh. I don't care at all. His acceleration, his hands are glue. He wins at the catch point. He's a great route runner. You can't press him. He's a stud. So I don't care that he's 175 pounds at all.
I think when we look at players and their physical gifts or their physical limitations, I think you have to ask yourself how much do they use those physical limitations, you know? Devontae Smith, he doesn't need, big size. He doesn't need 4.3 speed because he has nuance. He has polish. He's a clean route run. Like there's this Sean Oakman silhouette picture of him and his arms go down to his knees or whatever. You know what I mean? So he's got the arm length. He got the hands. He got the hand size. So what do you need this extra? But if he was 190, he'll be able to play. You know, I just think it's a bit, when you think about, Rashawn Slater, right? I did a film session on him. He got short arms. But if he doesn't miss with his hands and he got great hand placement and great hand technique, you don't need long arms. Now, everybody ain't got that, and some people need long arms. Orlando Brown's a guy that use his long arms. He's slow as shit, but he got long arms, so it just works out for him. If you don't have the physical side, as long as you got the polish, you're good to go. And I think it goes back to floor and ceiling guy, right? Jamar Chase got the ceiling. But if the floor of Devontae is so high, because he has that technical side already. And he ain't slow. It ain't like he's some slow dude. He's probably more quick than fast. He ain't
I better run in the 4.4s. I better be like a 4.48 guy.
And then plus, even if he's a 4.5 guy, some of your favorite receivers in the league are 4.5 guys. You know what I mean? So just get over yourself, cut the film on, watch it, and just move on with your life. I take that dude at 3 if he's there. If I'm Miami, if I ain't trading back, if I ain't taking quarterback, because I'm gonna ask you about this in a minute, because they don't like Tua, I guess, then take the wide receiver and be fine.
The only difference that I would say about Miami is I think Devontae Smith would be a great pick. I think it'd be a fine pick. But you could be tempted just because wide receiver is always so deep in the drafts, and I think it will be every that if you wanted to take an offensive tackle to protect your quarterback instead of receiver because you think the drop-off from Sewell and Slater down to whatever you get in the second versus Smith to Olave, Bateman, whatever.
Sure.
If you want to go O-line, I think O-line, receiver, they're both really important positions. They both make a ton of money when they're really good. If you wanted to go tackle, I'm cool with that too because you can find receivers, but you want the best ones.
Yeah, fair enough. Brandon Robinson dropped a 5 in my super chat. Will y'all go send Jeff some money, please?
Yeah, what the hell, guys?
I like Barmore, but did he play against Wyatt Davis? I don't remember seeing that matchup. I would have to watch the film. My bad on that. And how come Alabama guard not getting enough love? I've mentioned Deontay Brown at least 8 times in this process or whatever. So it's all good to go. Landon Dickerson is going to be another guy to keep a lookout. Jeff, like, what do you do for the Senior Bowl? Like, do you obsess over Senior Bowl, or you just kind of watch it in passing?
No, I'll watch everything that is available, and then I'll get my hands on the tape and I'll watch all the practices because I think Senior Bowl is important.
I think it's the best. Yeah.
Last year, Jeremy Chin got picked like 61, 62 overall, and he's a Southern Illinois safety that was super athletic. But the reason he went 62, I think, overall is because he's a small school guy that got an invite to the Senior Bowl, and then he showed I belong here. Yeah. So I think it's great because you can put guys on a level playing field where you're not trying to guess because you're playing against directional Maryland or whatever.
Sure.
And like, oh, great, he's blocking the hell out of this guy. I don't care.
Yeah.
But when you bring a bunch of Power 5 dudes and then the best players from the group of 5 or D2 or whatever, and you let them go head to head over and over again, God, you can learn so much from the Senior Bowl. The one-on-ones, there's a lot there. Oh, our boy Haley 94 Ware is back, by the way. He said, "You're so demanding. Here's some cash." Is that how it works?
Give me this shit right now.
Please. All right, I'm going to demand everybody hook it up. I guess that's kind of sometimes what the ladies do, huh? Just kind of look at, hey, here's my Cash App. Yeah, I guess. No, Senior Bowl is awesome, dude. Yeah. Senior Bowl is awesome. They do a great job of getting a lot of the best seniors in the country to participate, and I think it's an awesome setting. And I wish the Cowboys were going and coaching it because I think that's a huge advantage, especially this year.
Yep. I think O-line and D-line is going to be really good this year. Deontay Brown's going to be there. Creed Humphrey's going to be there. That's going to be fun. Trey Smith, Tennessee left tackle, is going to be there. On the D-line side, I know Carlos Basham. That's going to be fun. Marvin Wilson's going to be there. My guy, Marvin Wilson. Both of the Pittsburgh kids. It should be a fun little we get around. We're going to cover that on my channel. Go ahead, Jeff.
By the way, Marvin Wilson could use a good Senior Bowl because – I mean, as a recruit, 5 stars, one of the top recruits in the nation, was supposed to be a monster, and he put some really good tape out there early in his Florida State career. Yeah. But this year, like, the production's not there. You see some of the traits you like, you're like, okay, I get it. But it would help Marvin Wilson a ton if he goes to the Senior Bowl and dominates a bunch of dudes that are going to get picked in the 2nd and 3rd round. That could easily move him from, if you're totally guessing right now, what does Marvin Wilson get picked in the 3rd round? He can make money at the Senior Bowl. He absolutely could.
But Jeff, we don't want him to make money. We want to like him, and then he falls so that we can get. I don't think he's a
first. You know, I think it says a lot where he went first as far as the Andre Big Boy conversation.
Indubitably, he went to you first. Do you think this Tua, his teammates think he's terrible thing is going to be a thing?
I think it's probably stupid.
Yeah.
You never know. I mean, who reported it? That's what matters. Like, who reported? Because some people could talk to players that say stuff anonymously. And Tua was a rookie in the same year that Joe Burrow was a rookie and that Justin Herbert was a rookie. Yeah. So he had, according to most standards, a decent to good rookie year. But according to the two dudes that he's directly up against this year, it looks like, oh my God. And I tell you, the eyeball test, I wasn't impressed by Tua this year. I don't think he looked as good as he did at Alabama. Maybe part of that's injury, but that's why Miami, they should talk about outdated thinking in the NFL. No team would ever do this. They should, without giving up on Tua or giving away his job, if they think there's a prospect in this draft at quarterback that's as good or better than Tua, they should pick him and they should let him compete. Because it's worth multiple top 10 picks to find an elite quarterback. Not, well, I think he can kind of play, and if we surround him with no. If you're not sold on him being a franchise guy, try again. And just let it shake out and see what happens. It'll be worth it because you'll know you have the best quarterback by the end of it.
What if Everson Griffin was the one that leaked it? Because I do think it matters on who said it. Because if some practice squad dude said it, who cares? But if like Devontae Parker said it, that's a bigger deal than some place kicker saying it. So I don't know, man. But if you need a quarterback, you have the pick to go get a quarterback. I'm more so of take that third overall pick, trade it, get more picks, and continue to control the board. In my mind, that's what I do. But it ain't me. I'm just a YouTuber,
Darius Woods, Voch said, with D tackles coming back, how many D tackles each do we need to draft to feel great going into next year when it comes to depth? Thanks. Love y'all. I mean, what you have is Neville Gallimore and Tristan Hill, right? Yes. You got two rotational 3 techniques. So you don't really have a 1 technique. You could bring back Antoine Woods, and I think he's useful. But you could be looking to upgrade that. So you need at least 1 and maybe 2. Definitely 1, maybe 2. And I'm looking for a giant one. I'm looking for a real big one.
Yeah. I don't mind overkill. I'm always a fan of overkill. Like if I need more than one thing, I would go get more than one thing. It means nothing to me to to just go and do that. But like if I had to go get a 3 tech or a 1 tech, then that's gonna depend on, or that's gonna make my next move with Gallimore, because Gallimore can play 1 for you, and he probably should be playing 3 for you. In real life, he should be a 3. So if you get a 1, you leave him at 3. If you get a 3, you leave him at 1, and just kind of play that little game with him. Darius Woods also dropped a deuce over my super chat. I guess he just wanted 2 questions, but I ain't hating on him. He says, "Is Kayla Farley on the Patreon?" No, he's not. He's not on the Patreon. I need to find some more film on him. And he said, "How's the cat?" The cat is in jail. She made a mistake, so she's in her little kennel in the room watching the news right now. Cats hate that shit. And Haley Ware came back and dropped 5. It says equal opportunity donated to Quality Draft Info. Appreciate you, brother Haley Ware. What was we talking about?
He swung over here and he said Jeff being so needy. That's the only reason. Plus, he's been going through withdrawals. He hit me with the 5 there. And yes, I have been going through withdrawals. This is day 3, no tobacco. I have my patch on. I have the shakes. I'm irritable. I have problems. And then Jason Renfro, he drops 5 and then says Dak signs 4-year deal with Cowboys, $158 million with $115 guaranteed and $75 million signing guaranteed. And I'm sitting there like, are you dropping a report here in the middle of this, Jason Renfro? And so he got me scrambling to Twitter, and I'm like, no, he didn't. Chill out. Unless I would think I would know that, but no, Jason, I appreciate you and I love you, but I don't see anything about Dak signing a contract.
My phone did not ring neither, so chill, fam. And Jeff, don't feel bad about the withdrawals, man, because everything that you're going through right now, that's what I'm going through when it comes to milkshakes from Chick-fil-A. Cookies and cream milkshake is my vice. And look, Jeff, you're laughing, but it'll kill me if I keep eating them irresponsibly or having them irresponsibly. So
it's true.
So I feel what you're saying. Can we talk about Mississippi State linebacker Earl Thomas? I appreciate your $5 contribution, sir, but I haven't watched him yet. I will get there at some point. You want to go over some players, brother Jeff?
Come on.
Let's go over some players, brother Jeff. I had this actually time out. Let me go backwards. Mac Jones. I had a question on the Twitter machine, Jeff. Who do you like more? Mac Jones or college Jalen Hurts? That was the question that I put on my Twitter machine. Who do you like more?
Mac Jones by a little bit.
I think Mac can play.
I think he can too. I think it's what's really tough with Mac Jones is, I think the way my buddy Dane Brugler put it is about as good as you can put it. It's so hard to separate him from the situation. He has the best line, the best receivers, the best running back, the best OC, the best head coach. but they can't make the reads and the throw for him.
Yeah.
And he is out here processing the field quick. He's making reads. He's throwing. He's giving guys an opportunity after the catch with ball placement. Mac Jones is going to get picked in the first round. He's going to deserve it. I don't know how good he's going to be because he doesn't have a huge arm. He's not a great athlete, but nobody's making the reads and the throws for him. He's doing that, and he's doing it really well.
I think these coaches in the league make it easy for young guys to thrive or whatever. I wasn't very high on Jalen Hurts, and I'm still not high on Jalen Hurts, honestly. But if Jalen Hurts can make it in the league, if early Josh Allen can be a playoff quarterback, Baker Mayfield's in there right now.
Hey, don't take shots at my guy.
I do what I want. I think you can make a situation where Mac Jones could be good for you. So if you say, well, Voch, Mac Jones is good because of his receivers and his running back, cool. Whoever drafts him, get him a receiver, get him a running back, get him O-line, and you win ball games.
The hard part is giving him perfect protection. That's hard.
That's the problem. But, just try to recreate that situation or whatever, right? And if a guy like Jalen Hurts can just come in and just do it, as long as Mac Jones ain't a guy like Paxton Lynch, as long as he's not a Connor Cook kind of guy, as long as he's not a Nathan Peterman kind of guy, I think he'll be fine. But I think Mac Jones is better than those guys. But whatever.
Shaq Edwards, $4.99. Shaq, Vikings fan, just want to give a donation to ScoutKast. What's your thoughts on the USC safety? When I watch the USC safety, I'm going to tell you all about him. I'm going to tell you all about him. I haven't seen him yet. I'm working my way through some safeties, some linebackers, some corners, all those, and some D tackles. I haven't seen the USC guy yet. And there's a few USC guys I got to watch. So we're going to get on it.
See, Jeff, I tell people all the time, this time of year, they're way more of an expert than me. Like they call me a draft expert. I'm not, because I'm late and I wait last minute, and I'm very – I just put it all off. Now, when I catch up, I play a mean game of catch up. So by April, I'll have it down. But y'all know way more guys than me.
It's January. Jason Renfro with the follow-up. He said it came up on breaking news on Google Report about Dak Prescott having a contract. I promise you it's not true, sir.
It ain't true.
I just want you to know. I promise. It's not a thing.
My phone, my chat box, Twitter would be on fire if that was indeed the case, sir. So, so Google lying to you. Jeff. Micah Parsons is my linebacker 4 now.
Okay. I can see putting Nick Bolton in front of him. If you're calling Notre Dame man a linebacker, I can see putting him in. I can see it. Who else?
My Tulsa kid, man.
Oh, see, I gotta see more of him. I'm struggling with the Tulsa dude.
Oh, come on.
I'm struggling with the Tulsa dude.
Jeff, come on. Watch some more.
I've never seen a 6'4", 260-pounder who looks like the biggest man on the field not be strong or violent. Like, he's athletic, he's running people down, he's picking passes off, but I don't.
That's all I need. I don't need him to play 3-tech, Jeff. I need him to chase people and get people. He's good at chasing people and getting people. But Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Notre Dame guy,
baller.
Let me just read this. A violent, urgent, little-looking dude. Safety maybe, because he can run for a linebacker, but a little bit more. Comfortable in zone, can cover a little bit, makes plays in space. Did I mention he was a violent, urgent, little-looking dude? Versus Clemson, the first Clemson game, in the second quarter, he blitzed him in A-gap and he beat the hell out the center. That was hilarious. Instincts, high motor. Mental process is way better than Micah Parsons.
I'm going to call him a linebacker. I would play him a linebacker because I think, to me, I got no problems with 215-pound linebackers at all.
Yeah.
That's what Darius Leonard played at last year. To me, that's the modern linebacker.
Yeah.
So if you are a decent covering safety, you're an amazing covering linebacker.
Yeah.
I think for me, I would call him a first-round linebacker. If you want to play him at safety, I think you absolutely can. He can do that too.
Yeah.
But I would call that dude one of my 2 linebackers on the field in nickel, and I would call it good. Running backs are running routes, tight ends, you got crossing routes, all this.
Yeah.
I've got a great coverage linebacker. And that, to me, that's the problem for Parsons right now.
Right.
Because I don't hate Micah Parsons. He can run and tackle as good as anybody.
Yes.
And at that size and, that speed, he could turn into an all-pro. He absolutely could.
Yeah.
But the thing that I want you to be able to do out of the gate to really help my team is cover. If you're a linebacker,
sure.
Parsons can rush. He can play the run when he's got it right off the bat. But Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, he could cover in the NFL today, and I think be a decent little coverage linebacker. So that's a first-round dude.
And Parsons falling in my rankings isn't like a knock to Parsons. It's not him being terrible. It's just that I think about what I really like in my linebackers, right? I like coverage. I love mental processing. I love me some mental processing. If Sean Lee had my knees, he'd be a Hall of Famer, dog, because his mental processing is through the roof. And when you watch Michael Parsons, and this is just for anybody listening to this to kind of do your homework, yeah, you can watch him versus Minnesota, but they don't really do too much flashy. They just kind of Minnesota their way into whatever they doing, you know what I mean, or like Wisconsin or whatever. But if you watch the Ohio State game, that's they do a lot of misdirection, a lot of read option stuff like that. And when you get to the league, there's gonna be some misdirection. There's gonna be read option. If you're a Cowboys fan watching this, then you know that because the Cowboys have been dealing with that. So how I give extra points to my linebackers are, how do they deal with read options and misdirection, right? And Parsons is good. It's just that out of the four, he handles it the worst. Nick Bolton probably handles it the best. Then Koramoah, then Zaven. Even though Zaven is my LB1 for now, I can change my mind. Michael Parsons is going to be a really good player. I just think he really super lacks in mental processing, and that's a problem for me.
See, I think he might be a really good player, but the might is super. They're missing the up top center fielder, and that's all Malik Hooker is an up top center fielder. So if the injuries made him be an on the cheap guy that you could try, and then you're like, all right, I got him, I got Reggie Robinson, I drafted a dude in the second or third round, and we'll see what happens. I'm interested. I wonder what that price is.
Sure. I mean, I agree basically, or what. Like it's hard to find super rangy freeze. So if you have an opportunity to get one, kick the tires on, see what you get. And Dom dropped a deuce and says Jeremiah Koramoah as a will linebacker, nickel kind of guy, help at all levels of the defense. Okay, so in my mind, everything that you thought of Isaiah Simmons, just not in that body. Like, Koramoah is a little smaller, but
not as much of a freak show.
Yeah. But just a smaller guy that can play at different levels. I'll take that. What are you drafting, Jeff?
When do I draft JOK?
Yes.
18 to 28.
JOK or the best safety on your board right now? Who is that? Who is the best safety on your board right now?
I still don't have 2020 TCU tape, so it's still Ardarius Washington. So JOK.
JOK or him? Okay, cool. What about JOK and Jalen Phillips?
JOK.
Damn. Huh. JOK Patrick Surtain?
Surtain barely.
I see who you at. So
I'm in the teens.
You in the teens.
I'm in the mid to late teens, I guess.
You about 13 to 19. That's where you at on JOK. Yeah, sure. I'll take that. I also looked at it from this angle too, right? He's really good at linebacker, right? He's like anywhere between linebacker 2 or 3. He's better than some of these safeties that Cowboy fans talk about at safety.
Oh, yeah. He can play safety better than some of the safeties we've talked about for sure.
He's better than Paris Ford, Cisco, and freaking Holland, in my opinion. I'll take that dude all day of the week over those dudes.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah. Eric, by the way, Eric Bauer, $4.99, big value meal. Hey, gentlemen.
With fries.
Zach Kelberman made the prediction Dak will sign a 4-year, $158 million deal. Thank you for the update.
But that's not the same.
If Dak signs, we'll know. But I appreciate you clarifying what he was trying to say. I appreciate the information.
This was going to happen. When that
if
happens,
Dak signs, we'll know.
This phone is going to explode. We're going to end this stream. We're going to start another stream and make a whole bunch of views on that video. We're going to call it Dak Prescott signs the contract. That's how this works.
Yeah, it'd be a big title. It'd get everybody running in there.
You got to do it in all caps, but that's how it works. But yeah, I'm a fan of Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I wasn't as big a fan of Chaz Serrato, the North Carolina linebacker. He's cool. I think he's more so of a will linebacker. I think he's probably going to be more so of a coverage guy. Now, if you like coverage linebackers, let him go be a coverage linebacker. But if you ask him to do other linebacker things, I mean, it just kind of depends on what you ask him to do. They blitz him a lot. I don't know why, because he wasn't good at blitzing, because he kept running into people and falling down. But it's just, what do you need him for?
He just plays light.
Yeah, he plays light.
He plays so light. He gets locked up when he has to, so I guess that's a will linebacker. You protect him, you let him run and tackle, you let him cover. But I don't know. I thought I was going to get more from Chaz Surratt. To me, Chaz Surratt is based on what everybody else is saying, he's going to be a 4. Second rounder, but I think he's a 3 or a 4.
Special teams dude. Yeah, he's a 4 for me. Yeah, in my mind. Yeah,
that's Chaz Surratt.
Yeah, moving on. Christian Darrisaw, V-Tech, left tackle, 77. What you got?
Hold on, let me see. I started him. I think I've done one game. Yeah, the Miami game. Has the size and length you want. Great job in pass pro, staying square and patient. Has the base to absorb rushers. Doesn't move as well as the top 2 guys, so he can get a little lungy and lose some sustain. Nice job on second level when he's just asked to cut off. He's a big man that's tough to get around with a solid base. That's what I have on him so far, but it's the beginnings of looking like a first-round guy.
Do you think he's kind of lazy?
I didn't write lazy. I think he's definitely less athletic than the top 2 guys.
I like everything you said. I think Leatherwood's also more athletic. I think Cosme is more athletic. I don't know where Vera Tucker's going to end up playing, but I think he's also a little more athletic than Darrisaw. I don't want to call Darrisaw slow. He just doesn't move as fluid as the other guys. Now, he'll be fine. He's fine. He's just those other 2. The top 2 tackles in this class are very athletic for a tackle. Yes.
This guy's a tackle.
It's just that Slater has functional athleticism that's really good for him, and Sewell is just the quickest moving, biggest human you've ever seen in your life. but this what trips me out though, Jeff. I can go watch Deontay Brown, the guard from Alabama, who's 350 pounds and moves better than Darrisaw. You know what I mean? So yeah. That's interesting there. I said Orlando Brown earlier because I was talking about how he was kind of bad at a lot of things, but he had length, so he made the length work for him. I think Darrisaw made the length work for him. He's not like an overly nasty dude. I feel like as big as he was, I wanted him to be like stronger and meaner and nastier, but he kind of wasn't that, in my opinion. But there's this thing that I call good solid. Like, he's a solid dude, but he's good. He's not one of those top dudes. But like, is he better than an Andre Dillard kind of guy? Yeah, he's better than those kind of guys, those smaller tackle dudes. So, yeah, Darrisaw's fine.
He'll start in the league for quite some time. Kevin with the 5. High 5. Kevin said, what 2 or 3 players, if the Cowboys drafted, would get you hyped and say it's a successful draft? I'm not going to take that as an at number 10, although if you have a guy you really want at number 10, let me know. But I'm going to take that as like 2 or 3 guys that are your pet cats. Like, you've been watching and you're like, oh, in the second round or in the third round, ooh, if I could get that guy, that would be good.
Deontay Brown is my guy.
Marvin, you want another guard?
Why not? See, Jeff, this your problem. I can't be O-line guy, but you want receiver every year. So don't even play me, my guy.
That's a great point.
Don't even do me like that, dog.
That's a great point.
Plus, because look, if I had the opportunity to get Slater in the first round and we get to the second round and Deontay Brown there, I will take a guard at 40 whatever, 41, 42 or what. I would take him with that pick if I could. I just know that we'll be losing at corner and D tackle, but I'll do it, whatever.
I'm trying to figure out who are my guys in this draft.
This class is a hard class to have of guys because it's not a very talented class. I mean, I just think there's a lot of complimentary guys in this draft or whatever, which is okay.
Our Darius Washington will be my guy. 5'8" safety, nobody else seems to like. He'll be my guy. Sure. TCU's tiny safety. Sure. Elijah Molden, slot corner out of Washington. Uh-huh. He'll be my guy. Kind of like Campbell, the corner out of Georgia. I like him better than his teammate Stokes.
I got to watch the Georgia kids, yeah.
I think Nick Bolton's probably still my guy in this draft. I don't want to pick him at number 10, but he's still linebacker Missouri. That's probably still my guy.
Yep. Did you have anything on Vera Tucker before we move on to these questions?
No, I've started to watch him, but I don't have enough to really talk about him. I know that he was a really good guard for USC, and then he had to move out to left tackle, and he looks like he played that really well as well. So I bet you he's going to be a first round dude to somebody.
Yep,
late in the first round.
He opted out, but opted back in and ended up playing tackle. I think he was fine at left guard. Their splits were so wide that you can watch him at left guard and see how he would look at tackle because it was that much space in between. So I kind of like him a little more than Darisaw, but
okay,
but not crazy too much. I don't know. Just let me watch him 3 more times and I'll get to it.
Yeah, I don't have an order on those two yet, but I will.
Tony Perry dropped a 5 in my cash. I appreciate you, Tony Perry. We appreciate all y'all contributions, man. Let me just one more time. Let me just find my little damn button. I can just show y'all some love one time so I can just... Okay, cool. And you said you've watched Deontay Brown in passing, but
I've seen him play live. I haven't done tape on Deontay Brown, but I've seen the giant. I will say the only thing that I know is in my notes is that I said Alabama has a giant guard, and he ain't moving Jordan Davis either. When I was watching Jordan Davis, the Georgia D tackle, but he's going back to school.
No, neither. And Shaq came and dropped 10 over my super chat. Voch, can you do a quick breakdown and tell fans there's nothing wrong with moving an elite tackle to play guard, a la Zach Martin, Scherf, some fan. Okay, so Jeff, let's turn this into a question, right? What happens when a player is better at a less valuable position? Like where do you play him there? I'll give you an example, right? Like Sean Wade will probably make more as an outside corner, but he's bad there. He should just go play nickel or like, you know what I'm saying, whatever, like box safety or something. Or, you know, if you're a left tackle prospect, that'll probably be better at guard. Or like if you're a Micah Parsons, you'll probably be better at Sam, even though Mike is the premier position. Where you stand on that?
I would let the guys, especially if it's like a premier pick, I would let them fail into the less important position. Like Zach Martin, you could have lined up wherever you wanted to. Now I believe, if I could think of the roster at the time, you had tackles, so it just made sense that a lot of teams were viewing him as a guard. You put him at guard and you let him be an all-pro every year. That's great. But if you had a need at left tackle, like if you took Rashawn Slater and you didn't have Tyron Smith, I'm playing him at left tackle.
Sure.
And I'm feeling great about the fact that if he fails at this, I know he could go play guard and be really, really good.
Sure.
So I'm going to put him at the highest degree of difficulty spot to begin with and let them fail their way to the other one.
Yeah. I got another question too. People saying that Surtain shut down Olave. Voch wants to ask you, why didn't they just throw at Olave? I don't think he shut down Olave. I just think they just didn't throw at him. So why do you think they didn't throw at Olave or throw at Surtain?
I don't know why I'm going to have to be like, people are going to think I'm a Surtain hater. I really like Surtain. The one thing that I'm uneasy about with Surtain is like when they got down to the goal line and Wilson ran the fade on him, where he gave him a little wiggle and ran the fade. He had 5 yards of separation on a 5-yard fade route. Yeah. What I worry about is how he matches up with guys like that. And Olave is one of those guys. What happened in the national title game is one quarterback had perfect protection and one didn't. Like Fields was moving around and they just never had an opportunity to really get it going. Yeah. Olave is a good player and he's going to be a good pro. But no, Surtain's really good. Y'all stop trying to get me to tear down Surtain. He's good. He's a good player.
Somebody was trying to get me to say something nice about Greg Rousseau. I'm still not at a place where I can say nice things about Rousseau. Jeff, you saying something nice about Rousseau?
Yeah, he's long.
I don't even want to say that about Rousseau.
He's tall.
I want to say that about Rousseau, fam. Okay, so let me ask you this: what aren't you seeing from Zaven Collins? Because Zaven Collins is LB1 for me so far. But go ahead.
Okay, so all I had on Zaven Collins that I saw. Hold on, let me find him in here, and I'll read you what I wrote.
Please.
All right, Zaven Collins, Tulsa. I watched him against UCF. He's a strangely nifty, huge off the ball linebacker. Drops in coverage are pretty rudimentary, but he's got a lot of range you got to throw around or over. Moves well for his size. Production's great. Not powerful, which looks strange in that frame. He tries to bounce around guys. Big and long, accelerates through holes to track down running backs. He'll buff an offensive lineman on a rush, then hop up and bat a ball. He's not good in coverage. He just kind of floats around and sometimes makes a play on the ball because a quarterback makes a bad throw and gives him a chance with his length. So I don't know. Doesn't that sound like a guy that right now I just don't know?
Sound like you evaluating him as a cornerback, Jeff. What are you doing?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like when he's dropping, he's not really covering anything, and then quarterback's still throwing it to him. I don't know. I thought at 6'4", 260, I was going to watch this dude like running through people and powering off blocks, but instead I'm watching a guy that is doing stuff like he's 6'1", 225, which is a linebacker too. So I guess I shouldn't hold it against him. I don't know. I guess I just had a picture of something different than what I was watching.
Jeff, we're not supposed to grade based off our expectations, sir. We're just supposed to look at the player and just
trust
move.
The tape.
You can't see, and look, that's the problem with hopping on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody go like, "Yo, Voch, this dude 260, he's a freak athlete. You gotta watch him." And in my mind, I'm like, okay, let's go see this dude tear shit up. But if you just look at him as a linebacker that just happened to be 260. The dude can ball, man. He just don't play like he's 260. He look like he's 260. He just don't play like he's 260.
Okay. Hey, I'm not done.
Okay, go ahead.
Look,
I'm sorry.
I got a rule. I have a rule with everybody, with all the prospects. You got to give the guys his due. Give him his due. And I'll give him his due, and I'll put him where he belongs. By the way, Goods67. He said, Jeff, thanks for all you do. Us fans here in the lab tune in every day for laughs, info, and enlightenment in these weird times. We thank you. And notice he only thanked me. He didn't thank Voch at all, which I appreciate.
So, I mean, I get it.
Okay, yeah. Also, I guess this could be a lab. I could put a what do they call it, a beaker? I could get a beaker in here.
Did we?
Like did we be a lab?
Did we ever talk about Davion Nixon last week?
I still haven't seen him.
Okay, cool. Edgar dropped 4 on my super chat and says Davion Nixon at a pro level or a player comp. I hate player comps, so I don't really do them. My bad, but
I only do a player comp if something literally jumps into my head. I'm not going to try to think about it or reach for it, but if I see somebody, I'm like, man, that kind of looks like, then I'll write that down.
Yeah. Farley over Surtain. I mean, I would take Farley over Surtain. I think the real question for cornerback 1 is Farley or J.C. Horn, in my opinion, in my mind.
Yeah, I think Horn. If you told me that this team was going to play a whole lot of like press man, then I would have Horn even higher, because like that's kind of his thing. And I'm not saying he can't do other things, but that's kind of his thing. Is he's just going to be a dog and fight you the entire game.
Sure.
Him versus Surtain will be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not done with that.
Yeah.
They're all Farley, Surtain, and Horn are all currently sitting in my first round mix, and we'll work it out.
I tell people all the time to not overthink small things, and J.C. Horn is kind of grabby, but if you erase grabby, he's incredible. So just erase the grabby, like coach him out of grabbing people, and that's probably like a confidence thing or whatever, just a trust your technique kind of thing. But in terms of like all the other stuff that comes with press man.
Well, I'm going to wait until he gets called for being grabby before I stop him. Because in South Carolina, they didn't call it all that much. So
they ain't call it.
Let's see what we can get away with.
There you go. And listen, man, I know I hop on the social media and ask y'all to drop questions, man. I'd be wanting to just drop it, but some of y'all questions be terrible. Some of y'all questions be terrible. Or just some of y'all's questions be the same thing. Somebody asked me, should we draft a corner in the first round and then take Javon Holland in the second? I'm like, nah, I don't even want to address that because Javon Holland's terrible. And if you watch the first couple episodes of ScoutKast, you'll know that we are simpatico and thinking that Javon Holland isn't that good. So, it's just, I can't get with him.
And we're down to be proven wrong, and it's going to happen. There's going to be dudes that are going to prove us wrong. If Javon Holland turns out to be a beast, I'm wrong. If Gregory Rousseau turns out to be a beast, I'm wrong.
I'm never wrong, Jeff.
No, you can be wrong. I was wrong on Laquan Treadwell.
I would.
I was wrong on Pat Mahomes.
I would. Who was I wrong about? Who was the last prospect I was wrong about? I was wrong about.
They're out there.
Chat box. Who was I wrong about? Somebody.
You are not out here going 300 for 300 every year, sir.
I don't give. See, look, this is my thing, Jeff. I don't give super bold takes on guys, right? So, like, if I'm talking about Josh Allen or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, man, Josh Allen got a big arm. He can make those big, stupid throws, but he'll overthrow slants. If he can fix that, he'll be good. That's how I say it.
See, you hedge. That's hedging. Okay.
That's how I say it. That's how I say it. But sometimes I hop on the ledge and be like, yo, man, Sean Oakman is not going to be a good football player. Like, Sean Oakman's bad. Or Solomon Thomas is bad. Or Pat Mahomes got terrible mechanics, but he still makes accurate throws. He's good. Like, sometimes I go off on the ledge there. But other times, yeah, if he did this different, it'd be good to go. You know.
That's a good plan. That's a good plan.
That's how I do it. How y'all feel about Richard LeCounte? I haven't watched all the Georgia kids. I'll get back to you on that. Besides that,
I haven't noticed him. I mean, I know that he's back there because I watched both the Georgia corners.
Yeah.
And they're both, I think both the Georgia corner names are going to be relevant for the Cowboys because I think they're 6'1" and 6'2". They're both 200 pounds and they can run.
Mm-hmm.
I actually like the guy who had been, at least until a few weeks ago, I think talked about Tyson Campbell. I like Campbell better than Stokes by a little bit because I think he's a little taller, a little longer, and I think he's a little bit more explosive athlete. So, I know LeCounte is back there behind them, and I've seen him make a bunch of tackles, but I haven't studied him.
Yeah. I wasn't wrong about Baker. I wasn't wrong about Sam. I wasn't wrong about Hernandez. I was kind of wrong about Joey Bosa, but I wasn't wrong about Joey Bosa. I was more so fighting the narrative of Joey Bosa because people thought that Joey was going to come in and be some outside linebacker, transcend the way we look at DN. And I was like, nah, he's just a really good technician or whatever. And I probably could have said it better, but
yeah, I was, that's a little partial wrong. Like Bosa, I was the same way where I was like, look, he's a top 10 player in this class for sure.
He's good.
So it's not like I was being mean to him, but I was like, I don't know about top 5. And it turns out he was a top 5 player in that class and I was wrong. Whatever. It's not like I was far off.
What happens, Jeff, is when you don't lose your mind, people think that you hate somebody. Right? Because sometimes I lose my mind about players that I really like, but if I don't do that to players that I'm just iffy on, they think I hate them. That's not the case. I just don't lose my mind. Like, I'm not losing my mind over Darisaw, but Darisaw will be a fine player one day. He's cool.
Oh, he'll be an NFL starter.
Yeah. Do you have any questions on your side, sir?
I didn't ask for any. Did anybody have questions in here?
Chat box or anything? Because if not, I mean, I can go take a nap or something and go, No,
because I know how you operate. I know you're looking up and you're like, hold on, 6 minutes and 45 more seconds.
Jeff, we good. If we out of content, we ain't got to just hold. Unless me and you, Jeff, can you rap?
I'm one of the best rappers that's ever been born.
No shit. Like, because I badly want to do like a Cowboy YouTuber cipher, but I just think like there's a lot of old people in Cowboy YouTube.
What does cipher mean?
Cipher is when rappers get together in a circle.
What I would do is I would steal other people's content and hope it was obscure enough that nobody knew and that people thought I was super talented.
That's violation, Jeff. You can't do that, man. You got to write your own. It'll even be better if it was bad because that's how content works. Because we know you're not a rapper. It'll even be better if it's bad. Like when Rich Eisen runs a 40, we don't expect him to run a 4.4, but we know what to expect from him. You know what I mean? So if it's like a 4.9, we lose our mind. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, but I would want to be good. Jeff, it would hurt me inside, my insecurities, because I am quick of mind, but I don't think that just on the fly I could come up with things that rhyme and make sense.
Well, I mean, you can write a verse and prep it, and then we can show up to the cipher and you just rap it.
Okay.
Because I badly.
But if I did like if I'd like just used a verse from like Notorious Thugs, Bone and Biggie, like
because I know all those verses. I know all those verses word for word, Jeff. And
what if I did something that was you're in Houston, right? What if I did something that was Crook for Life, Mr. Pookie, and Mr. Lucci? See, that's Dallas. Some people might not know.
I know all those lyrics too, Jeff. Like, come on, relax.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll just do a country song. What if I took a country song and made it into a rap verse?
Brooks and Dunn is incredible. I would know it if I heard it. Like, relax.
All right, well then I'm screwed.
All right, we're not gonna do the cipher, man. Hey, look, we got 2 minutes left. We'll go ahead and wrap it up, man. I'm Voch Lombardi, VOCHLOMBARDI. I have a Patreon, patreon.com/Voch Lombardi, where I watch film just in passing or whatever. Y'all can come holler at me if you want to. If not, cool. Follow me on Twitter, VOCHLOMBARDI. I'm likely over there making fun of something. Jeff, you got something you want to plug for the good people?
No, but there's something that I wanted to ask you.
What's that?
I guess I just assumed because Lombardi is such a famous football name that it was like a stage name or a fake name. But then somebody asked me, is that his real last name? And I said, I don't know. Is Lombardi your actual last name?
They don't have black people named Lombardi. So, no. No.
I didn't know. I'm just asking. Shaq Edwards, can we get a who the hell is Mel Kiper one time? LOL. Sure.
Who the hell is Mel Kiper?
Who the hell is Todd McShay? Todd McShay had Sean Wade going 13th in a little mock draft. If Sean Wade gets picked in the first round, I will eat my house shoe.
Don't say that. Don't say
I
that.
will.
Don't say that shit, man. Because teams.
This house shoe. Let me rephrase. I will eat something out of this house shoe. I will not eat this house shoe, but I'll put something in it. But Amanda got me these, and they're the nice ones. Like, they don't get funky, or I guess everything is funky at some point, but they're nice ones. They won't get funky for a while.
You can.
I don't have anything to plug. Just if you are watching on my YouTube channel, make sure you're subscribed to Voch. And if you're not subscribed and you're watching on Voch's, why don't you subscribe to mine and just be cool like that? And the way that I end all my videos is telling literally everyone, as I look you dead in the eye, make sure you realize you don't know what anybody is going through. So be cool to everybody. Yeah. Okay. That's that.
That's sexy, Jeff. All right, man. Y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski while Jeff up here winking at y'all. And the Peasky Whiskey. Go listen to OutKast or something. This is ScoutKast. This will be an audio podcast one day. We'll figure it out. We'll cross the road whenever we get there. But peace, y'all. Salute.
Voch ran out of stuff to say. I love you.